head of office will be able to explain more on there.
You are being unfair on yourself, Colonel. You are a senior police officer. You have spent enough time in IDAC to know a bit about processes. You get a Section 27. You told us that the intake committee decides whether it falls within its mandate,
yes.
The complaint. That must be recorded somewhere. You told us then the investigators and chief investigators are appointed. Then a decision is made whether or not to proceed to a Section 2813 investigation or to run a full-blown investigation in terms of Section 81. And then you referenced the authority to proceed. I assume all these are in written form. And my question is simply, where does one find that whole pack of papers? Surely you should know that.
No, I do not want to appear that I'm holding back or anything on that, Council.
Yeah.
Please understand me.
Okay.
All right. I'm the investigator in the level that I prescribed. The referral comes in, and it comes into to management. It is done. I get a copy of the designation where we designated on to investigate. So on the basis of that, I start the inquiry.
Yes.
Of obtaining statements.
Okay.
And then I compile my docket from there. I do not take the 27 and put it in a docket and start from there. I start from interviewing people to gather evidence for the criminal docket.
Okay. No, that's, I understand. Then,
can I just, Ms. Silla?
Yes, ma'am.
Just related to this topic, this docket here, it says police station is Brooklyn. Can you just explain, is that how all your IDAC dockets look like? They record a station as Brooklyn?
It's a normal police docket, Commissioners.
Yes.
It's a normal police docket which we get from the station and we write on it.
Okay.
And we register it. But it's a police docket.
So it's registered at Brooklyn Police Station?
It's registered at Brooklyn Police Station. IDAC does not have access to their own systems of registering dockets, so it's registered at the police station, the precinct with the offence founding.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. So what we have at page 681 is the preamble to a statement, as Commissioner Baloyi points out. It reflects Brooklyn as the station. And then it provides a cast number 542/06/2025. Can I just share with you what I've come to understand about cast numbers, and don't always trust my understanding though. I understand that the last figures, 2025, denote the year in which that case was opened.
Yes.
Then numbers before the year 06 denote the month in which it was opened.
So it's the month, it's the register serial number according to the system.
Yes.
The month.
Yes.
And then the year.
Correct, and that's how I understood it.
Yes.
So then, based on that understanding, I too had is when I see 542/06/2025, I take it is case number 542, opened on June 2025 at Brooklyn Police Station. Is that fair?
That's correct.
Oh. And this is that then becomes your case number going forward, and
yes.
That will attach right through to prosecution.
Yes.
And based on that understanding, I try to understand, if I scroll down, if you go to the bottom of that document, that tells me this was opened in June 2025. It has got a signature and a date, and the date reflected there is the 6th of January 2025. So if it bears the date of January 2025, how does it bear a case number of June yet to come? I might be confusing myself over nothing, but I was hoping you'd be able to clarify this. And I ask simply because you are the lead investigator in the matter, so there might be a very valid explanation to this.
I can give you clarity
yes.
on that. During the preliminary investigation, a number of affidavits are taken in the early stages of the investigation, which is the preliminary investigation, where you are searching for your evidence. So once you put together all your evidence, at that stage your witness statement doesn't have a CAS number.
Yes.
Right? Nothing is CASed. So therefore, once you've got all your affidavits and all your evidence, and then you register a case docket, which could be months later, right? Then that statement, the CAS number will be written on the top. So it's obvious the CAS number now is on the date when the docket was registered. But the affidavit was taken in January. That affidavit was taken during the preliminary investigations. So that's why the date is January.
I understood you earlier to say the first document in a docket is the A1. If the A1, that statement of the complainant, is taken in January, then the docket is opened with that A1. Is my understanding wrong?
No, Commissioner. We're busy with the preliminary investigation. During the preliminary investigation, you will obtain statements, various statements, requests for certain documents, this and this. So you're busy compiling stuff. When you are ready with your docket to have it registered, because it's still in an inquiry at that stage, then you would register your docket.
You do recall that at some point I wanted an understanding as to when we move from investigation to a criminal case, have a CAS number.
Yes.
And you gave an example, particularly with this one, that you went immediately into a CAS number. So that would have been shortly after you received your Section 27. So, or maybe I have things upside down, topsy-turvy. Please try again.
Maybe I can guide you, counsel, and explain.
Yes.
You have a Section 27 referral that is sent in. And then your Section 2813 preliminary investigation commences. So it's an inquiry stage. So you will go out and interview the complainant, and you obtain his affidavit.
Yes.
And then you will continue with your investigation to get other supporting evidence or whatever in your preliminary. Your docket is not registered at that stage. So you have that complaint, but now you want to get more on it. So once you've done all of that, and then you're now going into your full-blown investigation, it's now ready, you'll register your case docket. That's why when you move further on, you'll see that some of the other statements are also taken to a build-up to a case docket.
Yes. Okay. So
Can I just?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry if I interrupt your thought process.
Not at all, not at all.
I just want to make sure I understand. Does then it mean that if your investigation, you don't have a case docket yet, you haven't opened a CAS on the system, does it mean that if your investigation results in you're not finding useful information, if you like, are you saying there will never be open a case, a CAS number? Because and I ask from my own experience, which is you go to a police station, you say this has happened, and they give you a case number before they do any investigations, and I now have a case number that I can give to my insurer that I have reported to the police. You seem to be describing a situation where you conduct an investigation, there's no record of it on the system, on the CAS system, and then you make a determination that there's nothing to see here, and the system is none the wiser about it. That becomes the end of that complaint. Can you just explain that?
Okay. With the police and the SAPs, person goes to the police station, to the community service center, he reports a complaint, and he registers, and they register his case. With IDAC, we get a complaint, a referral complaint. So we first start with an inquiry to verify this complaint, and that starts with a preliminary investigation. To verify, we take statements or whatever, and if there is a prima facie case or what the complainant said in the complaint that it is there, and we've conducted this investigation, we conducted under an inquiry number, right? It will be an inquiry number. And we find during the preliminary investigation, no, we have a prima facie case, it's supported by affidavits taken, then we register a docket and go into a full-blown investigation. Now, if we had to take a complaint in that Section 27 and just go and open a case docket just basically on that, and then at some stage or the other it's found that no, but there's nothing here, then you have a case that's registered which adds to the volume of cases in the area in terms of statistics. If the Commissioner can understand.
So there's an inquiry number for this referral?
Yes, there's an inquiry number.
On your system? Yes. Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Listen.
Thank you. So that inquiry number would suggest there is an inquiry file, and the first document, I take it, would be the referral affidavit and then the A1 statement and following.
In my documents will be the designation.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And from the designation, I will go and take the affidavit. Everything that I do in that inquiry, because on the designation it will have the inquiry number.
Yes.
It will refer to an inquiry. It will be that 2813 is registered as inquiry. It will have an inquiry number. So that's the inquiry number that I will use for my investigation. For summonses to request documents, I will use that.
Yes.
So once my case is registered, finally at the police station, that inquiry number will fall out, and I'll be using a CAS number. That's why you'll find in some cases on subpoenas, you'll have a inquiry number and
yes.
at a later stage a CAS number.
Oh, so that simply tells me that when you issued a summons during an inquiry, it will bear the inquiry number, and if you issued a Section 28 summons after you have opened the case, then it will bear the CAS number. Thank you. Now that helps. So if I just quickly go to just a small issue before I'm aware of the time, Chair, just to close on this topic. If you go to page 683, staying with the same file, 683.
683.
At 683 is the statement of the affidavit of Mr. Fadiel Adams. And at page 684, I see it's commissioned. You see that? Colonel?
I'm going down to your document.
No. I thought it immediately follows. We're at 681, looking at the CAS number and them.
I'm
just
pulling it up on my electronic copy instead of the hard copy.
I prefer you work on the files before you, then we don't lose each other.
Okay.
I'll assure you, before the commissioners, that what's in the file is exactly as you gave to the commissions. Nothing has been added and nothing has been omitted. So you can trust the file. I'm at 683. That is the statement of Mr. Fadiel Adams. And overleaf at page 684, I see it's commissioned. Correct?
That's correct.
I'm interested, even before we look at the content, at 684, if we go to that part after Mr. Adams' signature, it reads thus, and I hope you can help me, quote, thus done and signed at, no, I'll start again, thus done and signed to at Pretoria on this, the 6th day of January 2025, by the deponent who acknowledged that she knows and understands the contents of this affidavit. This affidavit was sworn to before me, and the deponent's signature was placed hereon in my presence at Cape Town. There's a commissioner of oath, and it's reflected as Dylan Perumal as the chief investigator. I take it that That's Mr. Perumal, you said, was the chief investigator in this matter.
That's correct.
My confusion, I guess, arises where it says it was signed at Pretoria, and it says his signature was placed here on in my presence at Cape Town. Reading that, where was this statement taken and commissioned? Pretoria or Cape Town? It can't be both.
Chair, Commissioners, Council, I believe this is probably an administrative thing. So it's not Pretoria. From what I heard, this is Cape Town.
So it's taken in Cape Town. So reference to Pretoria there is incorrect. Yes, it might be a function of using. Yes, Commissioner Baloi.
I don't know that you can make that correction unless you're telling us you were present when this affidavit was deposed to.
Chair, Commissioner, I'm just making the inference. So it's just an inference I'm making.
Yeah.
And from what I know, that this was not Pretoria.
Well, you
but,
can only...
Mr. Chief Investigator Perumal will be able to...
Yes.
Yes, he will be the one.
He's the one that must explain what happened here. So we're not making any corrections.
Are you suggesting that when he was physically in Cape Town, that is Mr. Perumal?
Yes, I believe Chief Investigator Perumal was physically in Cape Town.
But his base were in Pretoria?
In Pretoria, sir.
Does he carry around his Pretoria stamp when he travels? Because look at the stamp there, it says Pretoria.
The investigating...
Pretoria appears twice there on the date stamp.
That's our office stamp, sir.
I'm saying, does he carry it around? Would he carry it to Cape Town?
So normally we carry our stamps with us, sir.
That's very unusual. But that doesn't make sense then, because you would stamp Cape Town when you are physically in Musina.
So when you...
Why would you do that?
The way I look at it from the affidavit before me, if you look at the address of the commissioner who's signing the oath, his office address is given as Pretoria, and that's our office stamp that's next to it. So it's not that it is you carrying a stamp to Pretoria to stamp an affidavit in Cape Town when it should be I'm not unsure.
From what you are saying, that's exactly what you suggest happened here. Even though he's based in Pretoria, he was physically in Cape Town, and the affidavit was commissioned there.
Yes,
and
sir.
he stamped it with a Pretoria stamp, date stamp, even though he's in Cape Town. That's exactly what you are suggesting.
No.
Which I don't understand.
Let me get clear on it so I can understand, Chair.
Yeah.
Firstly, from what I know, but only Chief Investigator Perumal can expand and confirm on the statement. And this is from what I heard, that the statement was taken in Cape Town. But what I'm saying here on this affidavit, Chief Investigator Dylan Perumal commissioned this affidavit. The address, his address, our office is Pretoria. So underneath his details, it can be seen Investigating Director IDAC, Brooklyn, Pretoria. Our office stamp has Pretoria on it. We don't have an office in Cape Town. So his stamp, and therefore the stamp is Pretoria.
Did he have to, was it obligatory for him to stamp the document? Stamp it Pretoria when he's not in Pretoria? That simply does not make sense, because it's not giving the factual position. It's not stating the factual position. Even the indication of the office there. Let me just look. Chief Investigating Directorate against National. Or I guess that's fine, because it's relating more to his position.
Yes, his position.
So yes, so there's no issue there.
Yes.
What's typed on there, basically explaining who he is. Maybe, I guess there's no issue there, but the issue relates to the date stamp.
Yes, sir.
And it sounds very strange to me that you carry your date stamps wherever you travel. What on earth for?
Commissioner, the only explanation I can afford, Commissioner, is in the way I see it, because we don't necessarily put a stamp on the affidavit.
Exactly,
but there is
exactly, because it's not even obligatory that you should have a date stamp on there. That affidavit would have been complete without a date stamp. By putting the date stamp on there, or affixing the date stamp on there, you are suggesting that this was commissioned in Pretoria.
Yes, Commissioner. That inference can be drawn.
But which, of course, would be problematic because
Yes.
you also have Cape Town in manuscript written on there.
I think in the rare cases, Commissioner, that point that you made is taken, that if we are in Pretoria and we are obtaining statements in Pretoria, our state stamp is not a problem. But if we are taking affidavits in another province, we should keep that in mind. So I will take that advice from you, Commissioner, in good stead. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
So, sir, still on that, and I want to preface it by saying, firstly, accept this is Perumal's affidavit. It's not you that signed, but I want to preface what I'm going to say with this, that affidavits have been thrown out of court for non-compliance on these kind of issues. And one of the problems that there is here, and that Perumal would have to, Chief Investigator Perumal would have to explain, is in that very paragraph which the chair is discussing with you, in the second line, it refers to to the deponent as she knows and understands. And it's been a serious problem because it raises the question, was the deponent even in front of the Commissioner of Oaths? So that is one of the issues that are problematic about this affidavit, that I accept that he will have to come and explain and persuade that he took this affidavit in the presence of Mr. Adams, and it was Cape Town or Pretoria. But to go back to an earlier page at 681, where you say the station is Brooklyn, there's a date issue, there's a case number issue there, but when you look at the bottom of the document, it has a different date. The bottom of the document, it indicates it was signed on the 6th of January 2025, and then next to it, there's provision for member signature. It requires rank, name, and surname. None of that information is provided, and I have tried to see whether it could be Mr. Adams's signature, which it seems it shouldn't be because it requires member signature. And when I look at Perumal's signature, it looks completely different from, I'm no expert about that, but it looks completely different from the signature on page 681, which brings me to the question, do you go to Brooklyn Police Station and say, we need to open a docket, and that's where you get this preamble statement, or is this a form that is kept by IDAC in its office, and then when you get referrals such as Section 27, you then complete it and put in the name of the station. In time, you will put in the case number, but whoever puts in the name of the station on the 6th of January then completes it at the bottom. How does it work?
Commissioner, as far as I know, that the preambles of the statement is done when you are taking the affidavit itself.
This is a form that IDAC keeps with it.
Yeah, we have copies of we have copies of these. Okay. IDAC is in the process of doing, in terms of the dockets and annexures where it says SAPs. We are continuously deleting SAPs and putting IDAC on it. So you look, for example, exhibit bags. IDAC has now got its own exhibit bags. So we are an office in progress where we are getting and moving away from
So at the bottom of that page where it says member signature and then rank, name, and surname, I would expect to see the name of whoever created
Yes.
this document
Yes.
and their rank.
Yes.
Okay. And the date at the bottom would be the date when what happens, because it's
Yes.
a different date from the June 2025 at the top, which comes with the cars. The bottom number, the bottom date, what is that date supposed to reflect? What does it speak to?
The 6th of January 2025.
Yes.
At the bottom.
Yes.
It talks to the day the affidavit was taken.
Okay.
It's the same date the affidavit was taken.
And you say the affidavit is taken without a CAS number.
Yes.
Is that your evidence?
It still goes on the inquiry, Commissioner.
All right,
So
thank you.
what you see here, if you just remove the case number, this is still an inquiry.
Okay.
But because the docket at a later stage was registered, in the docket you've got to make sure everything from back to front has got the case number.
Thank you.
And I take your other concern, Commissioner, that a signature must be followed by initial and surname, identifying the signature.
Yeah, but you accept that we don't know who opened this on the basis of this
That is
document
correct.
in front of us.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just to close on this topic, then, this conflict between Pretoria and Cape Town at page 684, because I'd understood you earlier to say, upon the investigation being initiated, you took the statement of the complainant. That's what you had said. Unless you say I, unless I meant IDAC in this instance. I thought you personally were present when the statement was taken. Or did I mishear?
No. The statement of I use it in the context that IDAC takes the statement of the complainant, but the particular statement that is before the Commission now, I was not present.
No. That's exactly the point I'm making. I take you to this problem at page 684 because I'd understood you to have said that in this particular Mukwele investigation, after you got your authorization, you are appointed as lead investigator. I took the A1 statement. You remember a discussion about what becomes the A1 statement? I had understood you to have said that you took the statement. And I'm checking, did I mishear you?
No, that'll have to correct myself there. You know,
Okay.
we were talking about what build up, and it could be in that mix that
Okay.
I would
All right.
in that context. But in terms of the actual, what we actually have here, the Adams statement, it doesn't refer that I took it.
So your final position is...
It only appears in the processes of what we do.
What appears in the processes?
No, when I was explaining,
No. We were already in the docket by the time I understood you. If I'm wrong, the transcript will
Yes.
prove me wrong, and I'm happy. I'll correct myself.
I'll take it this way, and if it to correct myself, that I did not take the statement. So if it is mentioned that I took it, then I'm correcting it now. I did not take the statement, and I was not present during the statement.
No, I accept that, and I accept that I too may have misunderstood you. Just then, lastly, before we leave this document, based on Commissioner Baloy's questions, at page 681 and 682, the signature at the bottom has to be the signature of the person who takes the statement. Correct? Is that how we understand this document? 681? You're on 681.
No, 681.
And 682, the same signature appears. Am I correct that that is the signature of the person who takes the statement?
Yes, that should be the person who takes the statement.
Okay. Now,
But
on
the next-
your version, the version before you, that signature is not redacted. I would like you to compare that signature at 681, 682, and compare it with the signature at 684 above the name Mr. Fadiel Adams. I might be wrong, but it looks like the same signature, and it is markedly different from the signature by Mr. Perumal at 684, who's the commissioner here. Did Mr. Adams sign in the wrong place, or should I take that signature to be Mr. Perumal's signature, although that doesn't look
I'm going to put it in this context, Council.
Yes.
Chief Perumal, who took this statement, is best placed to answer in terms of the signature.
Yes, no, for a fact, he is. I was just asking you. You are looking at it. You're an investigator.
looking at it,
What
yeah.
conclusion would you draw?
The way I see it here is that this signature is put in the wrong place here.
It's put in the wrong place, or I'm more interested in between the two, who appended the signature at page 681 and 682? Is it Mr. Adams or is it, you call him Chief Perumal?
The signature on the bottom of the page appears to be Mr. From the way I look at the other signatures that are in the actual affidavit,
Yes.
it appears to be Mr. Adams.
Appears to me.
Yes.
And as we understand it, it by right ought to be the investigator or the police officer who takes the statement.
No, I'm not with you there, Counsel.
Now, I say, do I understand you correct that the signature that has to be appearing at 681 and 682 has to be the signature of the person taking the statement?
Yes.
Not the person giving the statement.
Yes, the person taking the statement.
We just have it the other way around here.
Page 2 should be the person that's the actual Adams.
Page 2 has to be the signature of Mr. Adams. The 681 is the signature of the investigator. Who's responsible for this form, for completion of this form? Is this the complainant or the person taking the statement? I would have assumed that
the person that's taking the statement.
Yeah. So their signature, I thought, would appear at both 681 and 682.
Yeah.
And that the complainant's signature would only appear in their statement. Am I correct or am I wrong again?
Just come again, the Counsel.
I assume this being an official form, the signature at page 681 and 682 would be the signature of the investigator who takes the statement.
Yes.
I'm just testing.
Yes.
And that the only time I would see the complainant's signature is where the complainant signs his own statement. Would I be right? I might be wrong.
On page 2, that's 682.
Yes.
That signature at the bottom, that's where the complainant signs.
Is that for the complainant?
Yes.
And the one at
And the one in
681
the front,
is for the investigator?
it states their member's signature. So that'd be the person that's taking the affidavit.
Okay. But what we actually have now, it would appear, right, at first blush, that Mr. Adams signed both page 1, page 2, and his own statement. It would appear, and I'm willing to be persuaded that it's not his signature, but Chief Perumal's signature at page 1.
Am I hearing you correctly, Councillor, when you are saying on page 681,
Yes.
the signature on the bottom of the page is not Chief Perumal's signature, but Mr. Adams? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, I'm saying if you say the signature at 682 is Mr. Adams' signature, I say it looks like the signature at 681, so it's the same signature. And I say when I take those two signatures and I compare with Mr. Adams' statement, it's the same signature above Mr. Adams' statement. So the sum total of my interpretation is where Chief Perumal was supposed to have signed on 681, Mr. Adams signed. At 682, where you say the complainant signs, Mr. Adams signed, and once again, Mr. Adams signed on his statement. The only time Chief Perumal signs is when he commissions that statement at page 684.
Commissioner, Chair, I cannot comment on that. And I think Chief Perumal will be best placed because what is there is the inference that Chief Perumal signed Mr. Adams' statement is that's what's coming across. And I think that will be unfair for me to comment on that because I'm not a handwriting expert and I cannot comment on, but he himself can comment, did you sign here or did not? If I'm understanding you
mine
correctly.
was just a deduction, so I'll leave it there. And maybe I've seriously not maybe encroached into the commissioner's lunch, and perhaps we are all hungry now. So if ask if this might be an opportune moment.
Yes, let's adjourn and come back at 2:20.
Thank you, Chair.